Protesters flooded the streets of Hong Kong Sunday to oppose a bill that would allow China to extradite fugitives from the semi-autonomous region, bringing the busiest parts of the city to a standstill and drawing the largest crowd seen here since pro-democracy demonstrations paralyzed its center for months in 2014. Critics fear the extradition bill would allow Beijing to round up critics that live in or transit through Hong Kong, threatening the city's judicial independence and further eroding its democratic freedoms. The former British colony was returned to China in 1997 under an agreement called One Country, Two Systems, which granted it a high degree of autonomy for 50 years. Putin, increasingly assertive Beijing, has called the deal's integrity into question. This bill amounts to the biggest political sellout of Hong Kong, lawmaker Claudia Mo, a member of the Civic Party, told Time. She was among the massive crowds that withstood sweltering heat and evening rains to protest. It would completely destroy the One Country, Two Systems promise and put Hong Kong effectively under Chinese law. Shortly before the demonstration, the Hong Kong government said in a statement that the measure would not in any way impact on, interfere with, or have a chilling effect on the freedom of assembly, of the press, of speech, of academic freedom or publication, or relate to offenses of a political nature. But the proposal has gridlocked the city's legislative council, which is roughly divided between pro-democratic and pro-Beijing camps. The city's business and diplomatic communities have expressed concern that the bill could undermine the rule of law, while Sunday's march displayed widespread public opposition from a diverse cross-section of society, from pro-democratic political parties to small business owners, to a network of housewives mobilized online. Today we're using the sheer volume of people in attendance to make our message clear, said a spokesperson for the Civil Human Rights Front, a coalition of pro-democracy groups that organized Sunday's march. Organizers said attendance was in the hundreds of thousands, while police estimated more than 150,000 were at the starting point of Hong Kong's Victoria Park. Solidarity protests were also held in dozens of other major cities including Sydney, Toronto and Vancouver, organizers said. Aerial images showed massive turnout, clogging up roads and overpasses for more than a mile in the densest parts of the city. Many protesters wore white t-shirts and waved red signs calling for the city's Beijing-backed chief executive Carrie Lam to step down. Chants of "Hong Kong people, fight in" rang through streets lined with skyscrapers. In the packed streets of Hong Kong, some demonstrators held up bright yellow umbrella as the emblem of the Umbrella Revolution in 2014, when tens of thousands of people occupied the financial district to demand free elections, ultimately without success. Large-scale protests in 2012 and 2014 were largely spearheaded by students, but the extradition bill has also grabbed the attention of Hong Kong's business community, which fears it would weaken the rule of law essential to the success of the International Finance Center. In 2015, 5 booksellers peddling salacious books about mainland politics disappeared. All of them eventually resurfaced in China. China said the men had voluntarily come to China to aid an investigation, but one bookseller, Lam Wing-Ki, later spoke out after returning to Hong Kong, saying that he spent months in solitary confinement and had been forced to read a scripted confession admitting to selling banned books. Lam has since fled to Taiwan, fearing what the law would mean for him. Speaking to Time by phone a day before the march, Lam said the proposal would target people like me, adding that, if the amendments pass, I can be taken away at any time. We're not taking this lying down, said Mo, the Civic Party lawmaker. Even if we don't achieve anything, we need to do this to be answerable to history. We are doing this for our children, the next generation, so there will be a record saying they put up a heroic fight. With reporting by Kamakshi Iyer, Lainey Barron and Arya Hangyu Chen, Hong Kong.